So he's got his head on straight now. I'm here and I'm on time. What do you know? Just trying to get my focus straight. There we go. How's everybody doing? Let's see. I got Clog the Drain, Joe McBride, Eric Beyer, Coin Junkie, Jeff Dunn, Randy. We're going to have a great afternoon here. We got a 1958 D roll, this one right here. It's got those end caps on. I call it a pipe bomb roll. Obvious reasons. It looks like a pipe bomb. But I probably, for PC reasons, shouldn't do that. But, you know, to hell with PC. This is a pipe bomb roll of 1958D, Lincoln Cents. They've been wrapped up like this for a long time. I'm going to go ahead and start trying to crimp it out and peel it apart and everything. First thing to do is get... Oops, there goes one of the coins flying across the room. That was coin number 1. First thing to do is get an end cap off. And then if you tap it against a desk, all it generally takes is a bit of a tap. See how they're starting to tilt now? See, the coins are starting to tilt just a little bit in that plastic. Now, I keep going that same direction, and they just start falling out. There we go. Now, after I get a number of the coins out, going that way, there we go. Take the other cap off the other end. Just like that. Now I got the cap off the other end. I just keep tapping. Same direction. Keep tapping and push on the back end, and eventually they'll all just slide right out. These tubes are not difficult to get open. They just take a little patience and a little practice, but they're not that difficult to get open. They could actually be reused, but I don't. Don't ever reuse them. I just don't like the kind of plastic they're made of. So there's our 50 coins. We've got our 50 coins out, ready to go. We've got our 50 names. We've got my bag, and we're going to get started here. Doing awesome, John Brandon Bow. How are you doing today? Justin Busman, you're here too. It's great to see all of our new people here. First coin's going to go to Wild Bill. Let's take a look at what we get with Wild Bill. Yep. It is a pretty coin, but it is not an RPM. Now, typically what I'm looking at with 1958D, 58D, I always look at the mint mark because you've got a number of RPMs for that date. Then I look up at the eye, make sure we don't have a doubled eyelid. And then I just kind of scan across the motto. And motto, generally, you're not going to find anything on 1958D, but there's always that chance. And then I look for a bar L, anything underneath the L. And then I look under the B. There are a couple of double dies known where you'd have to look under the B. There's also one double die known for 58D where you look on top of the 9. There'd be a hookup on top of the 9. Techstar, news about Starbuck. He came on during the last live. He's back home. They kind of figured out what was going on with him. They got him fixed up pretty good, and he's back home convalescing now. So he's in good shape. As good as we can expect. There's a struck through there. Lost for words. Struck through on coin number 1. How's that for good luck? It's got a nice little struck through on coin number 1. And that's going to go to Wild Bill. Number 2 now. Also, Wild Bill. He did not get the whole roll. For some reason, we're getting him out of the way real quick in this roll. This one is a minor split lower serif RPM, I do believe. Let's zoom in real close and take a look at it. Yeah, I can see There's some splits going on in the lower serif there. I believe there's a chance this is a tripled lower serif. Let me flip it around this way. Make it a little bit easier to see the bottom serif. I think it's tripled. Doubled upper serif and tripled lower serif. We have a little ridge line. You can see a little cut in the ridge line going across the bottom of the D, which is to the upper right on your screen. You can see that extra shine line there. That is part of the repunching. That is the secondary mint mark poking out below the primary mint mark. So yes, it can be a thing that we have tripled. You can see that if you consider the top of the ridge, where I'm going to call it the shine comes around the bottom of the D, basically where it bends and the light shines on it. When you get to the corner, notice that there's two more spots of shine. You've got the shine that comes down and ends, then you've got another shine, then another shine. Those two extra shines are two extra serifs. So you've got three serifs in the bottom of the D. So that's a D over D over D. It's relatively minor, but it is listable. Let me bounce back out before I make us all seasick on this. There we go. Knock the light down just a little bit. There we go. So we do have a rather minor tripled lower serif RPM. Can't get the triple to show up at this magnification, but you can definitely see there's something going on down there at the lower serif. Alright, let's pick up a good marker that we can use on this so that we'll know next time we run into another coin of this die that it is the same die. I'll have to find something that's usable as a good die marker. There's a huge, long, concentric gouge below the vest, right at the rim. See that dark line running right along the rim? That's a gouge in the die, which stands out on the coin, which is why it's dark. So we could use that as an indication that we could have the same die. But because that's rather common, I want to see something else. I want one more thing that'll tell me, yep, you've got that die. Let's see if I can find something here. Okay. There are some rather interesting... Let me get this thing focused in really well. Okay, there's a die scratch just above the 9. It looks like an accent mark on top of the 9. We're going to use that as our other marker and call this one die number 1 for this roll. It's repunch mint mark, die number 1 for the roll. Hello, Ida Herring. A Hawkeye, Adam Chambers, Coin Junkie. A lot of people showing up here today. So this is coin number 2. It's going to go to Wild Bill. We're going to call it die number 1 for the day. It's a tripled lower serif, repunch mint mark. Set it off to the side here and move on to coin number 3 now. Coin number 3 is going to go to Jeff Dunn. Jeff Dunn will get coin number 3. Let's take a look at it and see what it is. If it is. This is not the same die we just looked at, so I'm going to turn the light back up some because that low light tends to get to me. Tends to look like it's more than one light, which really has a bad effect when you're trying to find doubling. Don't ever shine more than one light on your coin at one time when you're trying to find doubling. The reason for that is because you get light coming in from more than one direction on the coin, and you're going to be lighting two different sides of the little trapezoids, the little beveled design elements. When you get two lights on there, you create two ridge lines. When you create two ridge lines, you see everything doubled. That's one of the primary things that rookies do, where they make a big mistake, is they'll get more than one lighting source on their coin. Even if they can take pictures of it like that, they'll take pictures of it and they'll send it in saying, hey, look at the double die I found. No, that's just an artifact of your lighting. It's just your lighting causing that. Oh, no, it's not. This is a double die. Okay, well, block one of your lights and then look at it again. Oh, yeah, you're right. No cud, Randy. Not yet, anyway. All right, it's not Justin Bieber, it's Justin Busman. Gonna come out in coin number 4. Yeah, we got a lot of strong die scratches in the date area. But we have a normal coin. This one has some spots on it too. It's kind of a spotty normal coin. And take a look at the reverse. Coin Junkie can't get over that I'm saying this is not Justin Bieber that we're getting a coin for here. It's Justin Bussman. I do believe he's in here. I sound cheerful. Do I usually not sound cheerful? Anyone? 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 Bigger than normal. There's Justin Bussman. You don't mind if I accidentally call you Justin Bieber once in a while and then correct myself now, do you? Oh, looks like we could maybe have a very minor split serif RPM going on here. Maybe. Some possibility. That serif looks awful rounded on the bottom down there for it to be one serif. So let's take a look and see if we've got more than one serif. Made the mistake of wearing my shorts and my flip-flops outside to talk on the phone this afternoon. Yeah, it's a minor double split serif. You have an upper and lower split serif on this one. They're rather minor, but they're there. You can see the lower split serif right there. Dark line running right through the corner of the mint mark. And then the upper split serif, you can see it there. Dark line running right through the middle. Right at the corner. So I don't know that this is going to be a listable one. For now, we are just going to go ahead and put it in a holder. We're going to call it die number 2 for the roll. And then as I go through it later, I'm going to make a determination as to whether or not it's strong enough to be listed. And we have a die scratch inside the eye area on this one. And what else do we have? See, here we've got one of those really long die scratches or die gouges running underneath the bust. So see, this could confuse us as the other die, but I don't think it is. I don't think it's the same. We're going to pull the other coin out just to be sure. We'd be looking for that die scratch in the eye area. So let's see if we have that die scratch in the eye area on coin number 1. Was it coin number 1? No, coin number 2. I'm sorry, coin number 2. Looking for a die scratch in the eye area. Well, it appears as though we may have it. No, it's not there. Different die. Equidistant from the 9 and 5 and spaced just slightly on the side of the 9. And on this one, yeah, we're equidistant from the 9 and the 5 and just spaced on the side of the 9. But I'm sure it's a different die. The doubling on the mint mark looks different. So we're going to go by, let's see, what can we go by? Okay, there's concentric die scratches in the coat. You can see concentric die scratches running throughout the coat. All over the place. Right there. You can see them in the shoulder fold. Let's go look at the shoulder fold of the other coin. And let's see if the other coin matches it. If it does, then we'll quit playing with it and just call them the same die. Yep, we got them there. Okay, so this is probably the same die. So we will go ahead and put this coin number 5 for Deanne on the same stack as coin number 2 for Wild Bill. There we go. On to the next coin. Paul Hampton. And Paul Hampton will get is definitely not the same die. Nice big old die scratch running right through the tip of the nose. That makes a heck of a marker for that one. But we have nothing there. Let's take a look at the reverse real quick. Slightly weak strike. You can tell by all those little lines that go in all kinds of different directions in the weak area that this is a planchet that did not get completely struck. That's actually, this is what the blank planchets look like before they're minted. They've got all kinds of little bars and lines and stuff all over them. And the pressure from the strike mints all that stuff out and puts the fingerprint of the die onto the coin instead. That's why you have luster, because of the molecules of steel moving around on the die as the die mints coins. Dennis Paulson, how are you? Spiked head die crack. Farm dog. Yeah, Jessica found one morel yesterday, a little tiny one. It'd take like a quarter of a pat of butter to fry it. I told her to chew very slowly. If you have to spread it out among the family, you're going to get one little bite each. Don't bread the thing, you'll lose it in the breading. Just pan fry it. Got nothing there. Rudy Alfaro, coin number 7. I am going to try to do some looking. I don't know exactly where to go around here, but I'm going to pick a public spot and just go. Walk the woods and see what I find. See if I can get my wife to go with me. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything on this one. A little bit of a marked up coin. Got some concentric die scratches right there in the ear and in front of the ear. You see a bunch of die scratches that look like they make a circular pattern that have a radius to a point in the middle, which in this case is on the jawline, right where it bends below the ear. That's the very center of the die. We've got 32 watching and 16 likes now. A couple of people listen to Jeff Dunn. Let's try to get as many likes as possible in there. You're not giving up anything by saying you liked it. You're saying you like it means that essentially the content is good, relevant content. It is related to the subject of the video, and it's enjoyable to watch. You can learn something from it. It follows the mantra of education. That's all we're looking for. Don't necessarily have to like me. You don't have to like the coins. You don't have to like anything else. Just know that you're helping an educational cause by clicking that like button. That's all it takes, folks. Hey, let's see. I think we may have another one of our minor... No, this isn't one of them. Gosh, this stuff is confusing when I'm looking at it with these really bright lights, but I can't do it otherwise. There's a big die gouge and the G. Oh, okay, so this one has a break inside the B of Liberty. I don't think it is anything. Now look at it closer. Now let's see. Let's take a look at the other side. Now we've got 20 likes. We're getting closer. I like that. I like it that you like it. And I definitely appreciate everyone who watches. Makes this something that's worth doing. Maybe I should start remembering to do it on time. Sometimes I just get caught up with stuff. Just like this morning, I sent out a whole bunch of packages. I was tired by 10 o'clock. And I for some reason misplaced my brain and thought that my 11 o'clock broadcast was supposed to be at noon. Then I get a message at 11:20. Are you okay? You're supposed to be broadcasting. Oh, yeah, that's right. Better late than never, right? Your coin number 3 had a filled B in Liberty. I bet it was the same die. I bet. We said coin number 3 was normal our last time through. This only agrees with that. So that's it for coin number 10. Eric Beyer gets coin number 10. Now let's move on to coin number 11. Coin number 11 in the roll goes to Levels of Madness. Got Levels of Madness getting this coin right here. Nothing on the mint mark or the date. Nothing in or around Liberty. The eye's not doubled. The motto's not doubled. The ear's not doubled. Ooh, what was that I saw? That is a split serif mint mark. That's a double split serif. We've got our shoulder folds. Lines in the shoulder fold. We've got the scratch inside the eye. We've got the same die, folks. This is going to be another, I believe, die 1 for the day. As for Levels of Madness, the reverse looks normal on this one, by the way. And we're on to coin number 12 now. Coin number 12, Levels of Madness. Levels of Madness will get coin number 12. Let's take a look and see what we've got in coin number 12. Not the same die again. Does not appear to be an RPM. It is not a double die obverse. Flip it over and we have no doubling on the reverse. So we have ourselves a normal coin here. This is coin number 12 out of the roll for Levels of Madness. And coin number 13. Lucky coin number 13 goes to Kelly Michaud. Kelly Michaud will get lucky coin number 13. Let's see what coin number 13 has to hold for us. It looks like probably nothing. Looks like a normal coin to me. It's later die state than some of the other ones that we've seen, so it's not the same as our variety die. It's different. And we're looking around on the reverse to see if there's anything on the reverse worth talking about. Slightly weak strike. Nothing else particularly special about it. Bag it, tag it, move on. So, lucky coin number 13 turned out to be not so lucky for Kelly Michaud. And here we have Farm Dog. Farm Dog gets coin number 14. Coin number 14 for Farm Dog looks like this. And we have a normal coin for Farm Dog. That is a die break inside the 9. That little die chip inside the 9 looks like the corner of a mint mark, but it's not. That is not a misplaced D. Just a die chip on the inside of the 9. It's cute though. I like it. There's a die chip on the E of states. Should be a die crack on the T of cent. Slight tad bit of weakness in the strike. It's amazing that you got such a die break right there on the E of states and you don't have anything going on in the wheats that I can see. A little weak from the from the strike, actually. But other than that, nothing. Interesting, interesting. Randy, you've got about 30 minutes. About 30 minutes. That's about all the time I got left on this show right now. Rudy Alfaro. Rudy Alfaro gets coin number 15 now. Let's take a look at coin number 15, see what happened there. This one's pretty nice RPM here. That one's pretty easy to see. A nice split on the upper and lower serifs. This one's also one of those ones that they used to call the 58/7. It's got that little thingy in the corner of the 8 that looks sort of like the corner of a 7. It's been disproven. It's nothing but a die gouge, but nonetheless, it's kind of cool. This one pretty much has concentric ring going all the way around. That's a pretty hefty concentric ring right there. That's going to be our marker for this one. You don't very often see that at all. I believe we have a die listed that has that. Could very well be the same die. We're going to call that one die number 2 for the day. So now we've got 2 different dies for sure. Joe Durbin comes up next. Joe Durbin will get this coin. This one looks like it could be... No, it's not. Nada, nada. Nanner, nanner. Let's move on and take a look at the reverse. Hello, Bill 457. We're finding not a whole lot today. Not a whole lot. Got a couple of pretty decent little RPMs. Yeah, that die was worn out for sure. And Justin B. Justin B is in the house. Here's Justin B's coin. That's the same die that we just picked. It's the exact same die. Right here. See that? So that is another die 2 for the roll. I'm pretty sure we already have this die listed on copper coins. I do believe we do. If it is not presently listed, then we'll be able to get it listed for sure. It's a decent double mint mark. Justin B gets a nice one out of this roll. Sir Reg. This is Sir Reg's first opportunity. A very first opportunity for Mr. Sir Reg, and oh my gosh, it's a dud. No repunch mint mark. I've seen that marker. Looks like he's smoking a little tiny cigar, or he's chewing on some wheat. There we go. That's better for you. Chewing on some wheat. Unless you're a gluten-free type person. If you gotta do gluten-free, then chewing on wheat's probably not real good for you. Next in, Sureg again. What do you know? Hopefully we find RPM this time. Let's get Sureg and RPM. This is an RPM, I think. No, just being real hopeful. Darn it. Not an RPM. Got kind of a bit of a spotty coin. Well, bugs are protein. Bugs are fine. They're protein. Anybody can eat protein. If you can't eat protein, then you can't really live. Yeah, you have to have protein. Oh, Rudy Alfaro. Rudy comes next. This is Rudy's coin right here. And on this one, I don't see anything right off. What has gluten in it? Wheat has gluten in it. Anything made with wheat flour has gluten. Gluten is basically the, from what it's been explained to me, is the sugar molecules that hold stuff together when you bake, like bread. It comes out of the flour that comes from the wheat. Yeah, Steve, we do have two different RPMs going right now. They're both minor, but we do have two different RPMs so far. We're only up to coin number 21 now. Oops, I gotta put Rudy's name in there. No, what did I do? I gotta get Rudy's name in there. There we go. Alright, next one goes to Deanne. Deanne will get coin number 21. This one appears to be normal. Well, they make things gluten-free by either not using wheat or by some process they can do to remove the glutens from the wheat, which I'm not sure that you can do. I know that things that don't have any wheat flour in them, or bleached flour like white flour, those are, I believe, automatically gluten-free. Jim Fletcher. Jim Fletcher will pick up this coin. Yeah, one looks like it could be a minor lower split serif. Could be. Let's zoom in on it here. No, just the corner of the mint mark and the way it appeared in the lighting. But there's no split going on there. So this coin is normal. So far, anyway. More normal than I am. Let's see here. Ain't got that nothing. Got that nothing. Nothing there. That's coin number 22 now for Jim Fletcher. Moving on to coin number 23. And coin number 23 goes to Farm Dog. Got Farm Dog. A couple of die gouges coming out of the front of the coat. Just another manic Thursday. I wish it were Friday. That's just my day. Farm Dog got his coin, number 23. Now here's number 24. This one goes to Wild Bill. Wild Bill gets coin number 24. This one's a double split serif. It is lacking a little bit of luster. This is our die number 2 for the day. die number 2 here. Alright. Oop, there's some grease filling the die there. Keeps these grains from popping up. Turn the light down just a little bit, make it a little easier to see stuff. There we go. There's a little bit of trouble with my light this morning. Alright, that's coin number 24 for Wild Bill. Now let's do coin number 25. Coin number 25 goes to Steve Patat. Steve Patat will get... Yeah, looks like nothing special out of here. Yep, looks pretty normal. Let's flip it over and take a look at the other side real quick. I'm going to do something today that I haven't done in a while now. Got to get myself into the practice and into the habit of doing it for when I do have a paid customer who actually cares to have their commercial run. So we're going to go ahead and do a commercial break. I'm going to hit a commercial break right now. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes. It's a good time for you to refresh your screens, go get your restroom break in, or whatever else you may need to do. But we're going to hit a short intermission here. Be well. Be sure to check out and subscribe to Mantic Coins on YouTube, where host Shay Hoffmaster takes you through a fun-filled tour through numismatics to include coin auctions, educational videos, live roll hunts, and much more. Come join in the educational fun with Shay. Search Mantic Coins on YouTube and subscribe today. The best in online auctions just got better. Now you can enjoy Coin Night live auctions twice weekly with the addition of CNLA Weekend Edition with your host, Jessica Johnson. All the same excitement and the same great deals with a new host and at a new time. Come join in the fun this weekend. There we go, folks. Get me used to doing that whole commercial thing. You gotta get used to it for when people do come to me wanting a commercial. Andrew O'Neill, Black Cloud Mining. Plus I have to learn how to fit it into my show. You know. This one's another one with the break in the B. Got your request, Dennis. We will take a look at the center area of the coins a little bit more. I've been speeding through because once I recognize a die, and once I know that I've seen this or that die before, I tend not to look at all the parts of the die again and again because, well, it's the same die. And now for coin number 27. 27 goes to Clog the Drain. This is Clog the Drain's first roll. And let's see what we got for him. We got one of those interesting little things. It's like a die chip on the inside of the 9 of the date, but it is a normal die. with a normal reverse. Hello, Andrew O'Neill. Well, one of yours was just now pulled. Let me go back and look real quick. In the normal non-variety coins, we have one. In the die varieties, we have 0. So one of your coins has been pulled, and none of them were, or the one that I pulled was not a variety. This was for Mr. Fletcher. Let's take a look at Mr. Fletcher's coin here real quick. Big old die crack running right up the center of the die. Interesting. It is really, it starts down here at the rim, it comes up here, and then you get another one starting over here at the rim, and it comes up over the VDB, and it comes up to the corner of the lapel, over the collar of the coat and the shirt, up onto the neck area, and it ends there, I do believe, or no, it goes all the way up to the ear. It goes around the outside of the ear, and it comes up here into the hair, and it comes out right there and goes up to the rim. So you actually have a full rim-to-rim die crack here. Very interesting. Full rim-to-rim die crack. Where are you at, Steve A? I don't remember where you are located. Are you where I'm going to get caught by storms too? And here's coin number 29. 29 goes to Farm Dog. Farm Dog gets himself... This is going to be a normal coin because it's got these little die scratch coming out of the chin. I've seen that before. This is another one of our coins that has the die crack running all the way through it. You can follow the die crack all the way from the bottom to the top. Lexington County, South Carolina. Help a feeble person who doesn't know the southeastern part of the U.S. that well. Where is Lexington County? Give me like so many miles east, west, south of Columbia, Charleston, something like that. Low country, okay. I get that one. Okay. Yeah, we may have some stuff headed to us today too, because I'm in Raleigh, North Carolina. I usually get my weather a few hours after you do. Here's a coin for you anyway before you have to shut down. Got nothing going on there that it looks like. Nothing on that side. I'm going to pull this camera up a little. I think it's too close to the coins. That's a little bit better right there. I was getting too much flashlight. Not enough viewing light. This is much better. Yeah, I'm in Mayberry Land. That's right. Don't live too far away from It was a Rocky Mount or Mount Pilot or whatever the place is called. One of those little Mayberry-like towns. Hey, here we go. There's a double split serif right there. You can see that one. Coming and going. Nice, nice. There's our marker for it. Big long die scratch underneath Lincoln. I believe this is going to be die number 1 on the day. I think it is. Even if it's not, it's still an RPM that I'll be able to look at. Tell what it is later when I go back through the die. And that's for Paul Hampton. I'm going to stick it on the die number 1 stack. Now for number 32. Levels of Madness. Levels of Madness, coin number 32. And this coin's a little bit rough. This is, I think, one of the die crack coins. Yeah, it is. It's one of the coins that has a die crack running all the way through it. Let's take a look at the reverse real quick and see if there was anything worth talking about on the reverse before we move on. No, sir, nothing here. Any of them with a split serif means that the mint mark was punched into the die twice, not in alignment with the previous time it was punched. That makes the mint mark doubled. And the split serifs are a sign that you have a doubled mint mark. Joe McBride. Doubled mint mark and RPM. They're the same thing, yeah. In a country with a slow internet. Yeah, but you're in a peaceful area. I prefer the peaceful area to the fast internet, that's for sure. Jeff Dunn will get the next coin. Let's see what Mr. Jeff Dunn gets. Looks normal by all accounts from here. Alright, that's coin number 34. Coin number 34 goes out to Jeff Dunn. Picking up now for coin number 35. Coin number 35 will go to Andrew O'Neill. Coin number 35, and this one is normal. It's got that little piece of straw coming out of his mouth. I've seen this die a couple of times already in this roll. And we turn up a normal coin here. A little weakness in the upper left part of the obverse, I mean the reverse, sorry. Was this your last one, Andrew? Sorry, it didn't turn out better. Chuck Patillo goes for coin number 36. Chuck Patillo, coin number 36, and this one's going to be one of the normal coins. I recognize the die scratches next to the 1 and the date. Yeah, it does make it pretty clear, doesn't it? They are not common. Repunch mint marks are a little more common than doubled dies. Doubled dies tend to be more scarce by their manufacturer and by the mintage for some reason. Every time you find an RPM, you tend to be able to find more of them than you do when you find doubled dies. Doubled dies are a bit more special than RPMs as far as I'm concerned. Just go get your shrooms. Get me a few too. While you're at it, please and thank you. Here's another die number 2 for the day. Die number 2 for the day has this huge die gouge running through the word trust. And it has double split serifs. Got a split upper and split lower. And Jess, don't forget to get a food dehydrator. Got nothing there. Other than a die number 2 for Jim Fletcher. Now for coin number 38. Coin number 38 will go to Eric Beyer. Eric Beyer gets... let's see. It's a normal coin. Yep, it's got the straw coming out of his mouth. So now all we're left looking for at this point is anything of error on the coin, because we know it's not a die variety. Errors are all those things that make a coin somewhat special, but can happen only to one coin in a roll or a bag, or for that matter, it could only happen to one coin the entire year. Nobody knows. There's no way to follow coin errors. Okay, we know this die. This one's a later die here. Not going anywhere with that one. Let's take a look at the reverse. There's a little struck through right there. No, that's not a struck through. Never mind, that's damage. That's a coin with a hit. My apologies. Thought it was a struck through at first. Hello, Patrickson. Oop. Gotta get John Brandon Bowe's name in on that coin there. Coin number 39 goes to John Brandon Bowe. Coin number 40 is going to go to Midnight Silver Run. Midnight Silver Run gets one of these little interesting ones with that die chip on the inside of the 9. So we know this one is not a die variety. We can look for anomalous error material on the coin, or missing from the coin, and then bag and tag it and move on. And coin number 41. Coin number 41 now, Steve A. NGC showed a video of them opening a bag of 64 Kennedy. That's kind of cool. Wait a minute. Okay. All right, take a look at the reverse on this one. Wait a minute. How can a bag of 1964 Kennedy half dollars be first strikes? Doesn't make any sense at all. No sense at all. All right, Andrew O'Neill. Andrew O'Neill comes up next. No RPM here. He's got the straw coming out of his mouth, so we know this die. So we're just looking for anomalous errors at this point. All right, that's coin number 42. A bank bag on a 64 bag of Kennedy still doesn't make it first strikes. What makes it a first strike is a gag that they're pulling on the public. First strike is a really crazy designation anyway. You would think a first strike would mean that the coins are early die state, that they're the first strikes off the die. That isn't what it means at all. First strikes and early releases are the same thing. And the first strike and the early releases and first releases, which are all the same thing, are coins that were submitted to the mint or to the NGC or PCGS for grading within the first 30 days that the coins were minted and released to the public. Same thing, first day of issue. First day of issue is coins that are graded on the first day that they were shipped for grading on the first day that they were officially released from mintage. So again, how can a 1964 bag of Kennedys receive any grading designation that's realistic in any shape or form without them being just throwing gimmicks at you to get you to buy stuff for a premium? That just sounds retarded. Hello, Ida. PCGS is not going to recognize, I don't think they're going to recognize a 38S RPM number 1. They don't do RPMs all that commonly. PCGS is not a variety-friendly grading service. They only do the varieties listed in the Cherry Picker's Guide, and if the 38S RPM number 1 happens to be listed in the Cherry Picker's Guide, which I can't remember right now whether it is or not, then it would be something you could get graded through PCGS. But for varieties, for die varieties, for double dies, repunch mint marks, my company of choice is actually Anax. I prefer them over NGC and PCGS because they recognize more different die systems, and they will give you a die number when you ask for it. They will have the coin attributed, make sure that it's the right die number, and put the die number on the holder. Now, they do make mistakes just like everyone else, but most of the time they do a pretty good job of it, and their grading tends to be pretty consistent too. They just don't get a really fair shake on the market because they have a kind of a sordid history. Hey, this coin here for Mr. Patat's a double split serif. This is going to go on our die number 2 for the day. There we go. There's our gouge going through trust. So it's definitely a matchup to the other die number 2s that we found so far. Andrew O'Neill, I don't know anything about Morgan Dollar VAMs. Sorry. I just have no idea. I've never followed that. Don't have any idea how or why they're listed or what. I don't know anything about them. Frankly, I know nothing. Sorry. I stay away from Morgan Dollars all I can. Done a pretty good job of it. Eric Beyer. Eric gets coin number 46. Counting down, this is number 5. This one's got the die crack running all the way through it, so it doesn't have anything for die variety on it. There's the top of your die crack going from the head through the W to the rim. If they're putting any kind of a special holder on these Kennedys, then they are just sinking deeper into the gimmick land of overcharging people for a different label just because they can. I think this gimmick of coming up with a bunch of different labels to slab... Oh, there's another one. Yep, there's definitely another one. This one goes to Paul Hampton. Coming up with a bunch of different labels just to slab Silver Eagles with different labels and put mint marks on them that are not actually on them. And to do stuff like that is an underhanded way of creating some sort of a rarity out of nothing just to be able to charge extra money for it. It's the same thing the mint does when they're creating all of these reverse relief, reverse proof, and whatnot coins. They're just creating something else that's a quote-unquote collectible that's worth something today and it'll be worth nothing next year. There's one of those with the die chip on the inside of the 9. We know it's a normal coin, normal die. Victoria is packing to move. Are you moving to North Carolina? Where is Victoria moving to? Let me paint a picture in my head. Give me a location so I can paint a picture in my head. All right, folks, this roll only had 49... Oh, no, wait a minute. Okay, they're stacked right on top of one another. They do have 50 coins. For some reason, I thought there were only 49 coins in this roll. I could only see one coin on my table. And it was right on top of the other one. All right, this is Midnight Silver Run, coin number 49. Coin number 49, one away from the end of the roll. And this one, as it appears, is going to turn out to be a normal coin. I will go through this entire roll again just to be sure that what I said is what I meant with each coin. If I have to change my mind with any of those, you will notice it when they come in your package. You'll either get a die variety you didn't think you were getting, or you'll end up without a die variety when I thought it was during the hunt. This is a very live, very snap decision thing that I'm doing here. When I have a better chance to study the coins and get a little bit more time to stare at them, that's when I know exactly what I've got going on. And whether or not what I'm looking at is something I'm going to be able to list or something I'm going to be able to do something with. And if not, it just goes back in the insert, goes back in the flip, and comes to you. If it is, then I attribute it. If it's the best one in the roll of its kind, I photograph it, put it on the website, give you credit for it, send the coin back to you with a signed flip saying that it's a plate coin. Plate coins are coins that were photographed for publication. And that is it, folks. That was coin number 50. That's the end of our roll. That's the end of our shows for today. And so right now, what I'm looking at is a pretty healthy stack of normal coins for the roll. That little stack right there. And then we have what appears to be 4 RPMs of one style, and I'm not really sure whether they're all the same die or not, but we've got number 31, number 11, number 5, and number 2. And then for the other die, the one that has the big die gouge at the bottom of it, we have a total of 6 coins. 6 coins. It's going to be number 47, number 45, number 37, number 24, number 17, and number 15. That's it. That's what I've got for now, and I appreciate it, folks. You guys have a great afternoon. I'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow's show is at 2 p.m., just like this one. It's a 1973D roll. It's going to be a Fed Reserve wrapped. I do believe it's a Fed Reserve wrapped 1973D roll. And then tomorrow evening is our feature roll for the week, and our last roll for the week. It's going to be the 1949S. It's at 9 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow. I appreciate it, guys. You guys have a great night, and I'll talk to you later.